You guys, we have a Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni update, as there is a lot that has been said in the press recently. Justin Baldoni isn't looking too good. Some people are thinking that it's Blake's fault and has to do with this new PR that she's hired. There's also updates in Justin's lawsuit against the New York Times, so we are going to get into everything being said right now. Today, we have a massive update on the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni legal battle, and let me just say, it is getting messier by the day, which I feel like I keep saying, but it's true. Like, when you think it can't get any crazier, boom, another plot twist. All right, so Blake Lively is not playing when it comes to controlling the narrative around this case. She's officially brought in Nick Shapiro, who, get this, is a former CIA deputy chief of staff and was a senior advisor to ex-director John Brennan. Y'all, a former CIA operative is handling her PR right now. This is next level crisis management. Nick Shapiro isn't just some random PR guy. He's known for managing high-stakes scandals, and his involvement shows that Blake's team is doing everything possible to make sure she comes out on top in this lawsuit. Her team told Variety the litigation team for Miss Lively retained Mr. Shapiro to advise on the legal communication strategy for the ongoing harassment and retaliation lawsuit occurring in the Southern District of New York, says a member of the actress's legal team at Wayfarer and Gallagher. Now let's talk about Justin Baldoni, because he is not just dealing with Blake Lively in court, he's also suing the New York Times for $250 million. Yeah, $250 million. So in December 2024, Justin filed this lawsuit, claiming that the New York Times smeared him in an article that covered Blake Lively's accusations. The article reportedly suggested that Baldoni orchestrated a smear campaign against Blake after she accused him of harassment and retaliation. Justin is arguing that the article was misleading and damaging to his reputation. Justin later incorporated the New York Times into his broader $400 million federal defamation case against Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist Leslie Sloan. Justin argued that Blake and her team colluded with the New York Times to spread misinformation about him. He claims the paper deliberately misrepresented text messages and other communications, stripping them of context to paint him in a negative light. His lawsuit accuses the newspaper of libel, false light invasion of privacy, and promissory fraud. The New York Times has pushed back hard, stating that it was simply reporting on Blake's illegal complaint and that its journalists acted responsibly. But Justin and his team have been trying to prove that the New York Times did ruin his reputation and that they colluded with Blake months prior to the article's release, alleging that they were working together to try and ruin him, though the Times has denied this. On February 28th, the newspaper filed a motion to be dismissed from Justin's lawsuit, arguing that it should not be involved in the legal dispute. On March 4th, a judge granted the New York Times a stay of discovery, meaning Justin and his legal team cannot demand internal documents from the newspaper while the court reviews its motion for dismissal. The judge noted that the New York Times has substantial grounds for its dismissal request and suggested that its motion is likely to succeed. Right now, the court is deciding whether to officially remove the New York Times from the lawsuit that Blake and Ryan and their publicist Leslie Sloan is a part of. If the judge denies the newspaper's motion, Justin's team can proceed with discovery against them. However, if the judge rules in favor of the New York Times, it will no longer be part of the case. The Times spoke to the press after this, and it was reported that in a statement to E! News, a New York Times spokesperson addressed the update, writing, "We appreciate the court's decision today, which recognizes the important First Amendment values at stake here. The court has stopped Mr. Baldoni from burdening the Times with discovery requests in a case that should never have been brought against." Also, in regards to Justin, there's also been something else thrown at him recently, and that's that Justin is facing new allegations from former employees at his company Wayfarer Studios, accusing him of fostering an environment of toxic positivity. Some ex-employees claim Justin's behavior felt insincere and professionally inappropriate, with one person calling it phony. Specific complaints included him filming himself giving clothes to the homeless and requiring employees to end emails with "so much love." Others also felt that his Baha'i faith played too strong of a role in the workplace culture. However, some former employees have defended Justin, calling him ethical and creative. These claims were published by the LA Times, and some have blamed Blake, saying that her PR team is working overtime trying to slander Justin's reputation right now, similar to what she is saying happened to her, especially in bringing bringing up the Baha'i faith, which his Baha'i faith was brought up a ton in the recent Hollywood Reporter article that was trying to say that some of the things that Justin does and the way that he acts and behaves has to do with his religion. Now, once the LA Times posted this article where they were talking about these former employee complaints, according to Daily Mail, in response to criticism of Baldoni and Wayfarer's acts of kindness and good deeds, the Jane the Virgin Star's rep told DailyMail.com in a statement, "There have never been any reported complaints regarding the workplace culture or any communicated issues regarding the platforms or its founders. If any guidance was ever provided to employees of how to conduct their written correspondence, it was to ensure that the activities of its employees remain professional and align with the ethos of the company. Wayfarer believes that joy and positivity are the essence of good work, and they stand by this statement," Baldoni's spokesperson continued. They later wrote, a spokesperson for Baldoni told DailyMail.com in a statement, "As all of Wayfarer's projects are rooted in a belief system that stems from various faiths and backgrounds, speaking from a place of spirituality is commonplace. Employees are encouraged to celebrate and practice their individual beliefs however they see fit, a message which is proudly supported by leadership," his rep added. The Los Angeles Times also uncovered a previous unreported 2020 lawsuit against Justin and Wayfarer Studios, filed by former executive Shane Norman. Shane claimed that he was allegedly recruited with promises of job security and career advancement, but was ultimately terminated after raising concerns about racial inequalities within the company. His lawsuit alleged that Wayfarer had a pattern of sidelining and tokenizing people of color, and that during the hiring process, Justin's co-founder, Steve Sarowitz, allegedly told him, "We need somebody here who looks like you." Norman claimed he was later demoted, had his pay cut, and was ultimately fired, while non-Black employees in similar situations received severance packages. The case was dismissed in September 2021, but a source told the LA Times that Norman received $150,000 to drop his claims. The LA Times also alleged that Justin had faced criticism for allegedly exploiting terminally ill individuals in his storytelling. Some former employees allegedly expressed they were uncomfortable by his frequent focus on stories of illness and death, pointing to his documentary about Sam Simon and his film 5 Feet Apart about teens with cystic fibrosis. A former employee felt they were exploitive, but a spokesperson denied these claims, emphasizing that his projects have always aimed to raise awareness and funds for these communities. So that is what has been in the press about Justin this week, with these former employees saying that Justin has done things that made them uncomfortable in terms of how he is kind, and it just comes off the wrong way, and the projects that he works on feel exploitive. The company says they're trying to spread good messages. Other people are like, Blake is pulling at straws to try and make him look bad here. It is just a total mess, you guys. Both of their legal teams and both of their PR teams are obviously hard at work with this case as it is still ongoing. In terms of Blake, people think her team, aside from people thinking they're getting these negative stories about Justin written, also feel like her team hired people to take pictures with her at South by Southwest this weekend. This past weekend, she was at the premiere of Another Simple Favor, and she was taking pictures with a ton of people, and those online have been analyzing the people in the crowd that she took photos with, just feeling like something was off about the whole thing and speculating on it being a planned scenario to boost her reputation. People noticed that the director, Paul Feig, his wife, was in the crowd at one point, and this is what had everyone thinking, oh, this is planned, this is weird, why is she in this fan area? Or what at least looked to be a fan area, though I'm not exactly sure what this area was. Daily Mail was reporting on this interaction, writing that the director's wife was talking to Blake Lively when she walked over, but she didn't take a picture with Blake, so she wasn't like pretending to be a fan in their eyes, and it was just the guy that was standing next to her that took a picture with Blake. Either way, people were clocking this as weird and planned out by her PR. Looking at the area in this photo, I mean, I don't know why they look photoshopped in this picture. It comes across like Photoshop to me, but I know it's not. But I don't know if this was just some like exclusive little area that they were standing in, because it is really close to the red carpet and fans were more so on the other side. But either way, regardless of what the heck was going on, people were just taking this video and they were like Blake and her team are trying to do damage control. And people believe this is something her team would be doing because not too long ago, Ryan Reynolds was accused of the same thing, as in January, he was seen signing autographs and taking selfies with fans outside of the Paley Museum in New York City, and people accused him of having staged the whole thing as some sort of damage control for everything going on with Blake and Justin. So that has been the conversation surrounding Blake and Ryan recently, and also Justin Baldoni and what's going on in his legal battle with the New York Times. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.